The rain was falling softly on my Bentley as Daniel, my driver, pulled up to the back entrance of the Grand Hamilton Hotel. My brother Marcus's words from our earlier phone call still rang in my ears. "Staff uses the back door, Olivia. We can't have you embarrassing Mom's charity gala by coming through the main entrance." I adjusted my simple black dress, Chanel, though they'd never recognize it without the obvious logos they preferred. The invitation to our mother's annual Save the Children gala lay on the seat beside me, crumpled from Marcus's attempt to rescind it when he'd learned I planned to attend. "Ms. Walker," Daniel spoke quietly, "security is watching. Shall I inform them of your actual position?" I smiled, thinking of the documents waiting in my office. "No need, Daniel. Let them think what they want. For now." The service entrance was busy with caterers and hotel staff rushing to prepare for the evening's festivities. A security guard approached my car, flashlight raised. "This area is for authorized personnel only," he started, then faltered as I stepped out, my driver holding an umbrella over me. "I'm well aware," I replied, showing him the invitation. "My brother insisted I use this entrance." The guard's eyes widened slightly. He'd clearly been briefed about the Walker family hosting tonight's event. "But Ms. Walker, surely there's been a mistake. The main entrance is exactly where my family doesn't want me," I finished for him. "Please carry on with your duties." I made my way through the kitchen, nodding to the busy staff. My phone buzzed. A message from my CFO. "Final merger documents prepared. Thompson Industries board meeting in progress. Awaiting your signal." Thompson Industries, my brother's company, though not for much longer. The hostile takeover I'd orchestrated through various shell companies was about to complete its final phase. Marcus had no idea that the mysterious conglomerate acquiring his company was actually his unsuccessful sister's corporation. "Olivia." My mother's sharp voice cut through the kitchen chaos. She stood in the staff doorway, resplendent in her designer gown, diamonds glittering at her throat. "What are you doing in the kitchen?" "Following instructions," I said mildly. Marcus was quite clear about using the service entrance. "Well, yes, but..." She glanced around nervously. "Couldn't you have just not come?" I checked my phone again. Board vote beginning. Thompson Industries stock frozen for major announcement. "And miss your big night?" I asked innocently, when Marcus was so insistent that I witness his big announcement. My brother had been hinting for weeks about some major development at Thompson Industries. He didn't know that I'd orchestrated every aspect of his company's recent successes. Successes that had actually been carefully planned steps in my acquisition strategy. My mother sighed. "Try not to draw attention to yourself. The governor is coming and several major CEOs. We can't have the failure of the family embarrassing you," I supplied. "Don't worry, Mother. I'll be as invisible as you want me to be." She fled back to the main ballroom, leaving me to wind my way through the service corridors. Another message flashed on my phone. "Vote complete. Preparing announcement." The ballroom was a study in excess, crystal chandeliers, elaborate flower arrangements, and Chicago's elite mingling in their finest. My brother held court near the stage, gesturing grandly as he spoke to a group of investors. "Can't believe she actually came," I heard him tell his wife Lisa. "Probably hoping to network her way into a real job finally." I smiled, thinking of my office on the top floor of Chicago's most prestigious building, the one my family thought was still owned by a mysterious European investment group. They had no idea I'd bought it last year. "Ladies and gentlemen," the event coordinator announced, "please take your seats. Mr. Marcus Walker has a special announcement to make." I found my place card at the very back of the room next to the kitchen doors. Perfect viewing position for what was about to unfold. My brother took the stage, confidence oozing from every pore of his custom-made suit. "Distinguished guests, fellow philanthropists, I have exciting news to share. As CEO of Thompson Industries, I'm proud to announce." My phone rang, the sound cutting through his speech. Every head turned toward the back of the room. Marcus glared at me from the stage. "Sorry," I said, "not sorry at all," as I answered the call on speaker. "Yes." My CFO's voice filled the sudden silence. "Ms. Walker, the board vote is complete. You now own controlling interest in Thompson Industries. Shall we proceed with the press release?" Marcus's face froze mid-sentence. Our mother's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, shattering on the marble floor. Sometimes success doesn't need announcing. Sometimes it announces itself with perfect timing and poetic justice. Actually, I said clearly into the phone, I think I'll deliver the news personally. I'm at a family gathering right now. The smirk had completely vanished from my brother's face, replaced by something between panic and disbelief. Because sometimes the service entrance leads straight to the owner's office. The ballroom had fallen into a shocked silence that seemed to crystallize around my brother's frozen form on stage. My phone still echoed his company's fate in my CFO's crisp tones. Ms. Walker? Would you like me to patch in the board members? They're eager to speak with their new majority shareholder. Marcus stumbled slightly, gripping the podium. New majority shareholder? I stood up slowly, smoothing my Chanel dress. Put them through, James. And activate the hotel's main screen, please. I believe my credentials should override their system. The massive screen behind Marcus flickered to life, displaying the Thompson Industries logo, which was already being updated with my company's branding. The board members appeared in a grid, their faces serious. Ladies and gentlemen, I addressed both the gala attendees and the board members walking toward the stage. I believe my brother was about to make an announcement. Perhaps I should help him finish it. This is impossible, Marcus sputtered. Thompson Industries isn't for sale. I would know if someone was buying shares. I'm the CEO. Correction, I said mildly. You are the CEO. Phoenix Global Holdings has been acquiring shares through various subsidiaries for the past 18 months. As of 5 minutes ago, we own 51% of Thompson Industries. Our mother had sunk into her chair, her perfectly manicured hand clutching her pearls. The governor leaned forward, suddenly very interested in the family drama unfolding before him. Phoenix Global? Marcus's wife Lisa whispered. But that's the multinational that's been revolutionizing traditional industries. Their CEO is standing in front of you, I completed her sentence. Though you might know me better as the failure who needs to use the service entrance. The board members on screen were nodding in approval. They'd known who I was all along. I'd met with each of them privately over the past year, sharing my vision for Thompson Industries' future while my brother remained blissfully unaware. Mr. Walker, one of the board members spoke up, perhaps you should step down from the podium. Your sister, our new majority shareholder, appears to have the floor. Marcus's legs seemed to give out as he slumped into a nearby chair. I took his place at the podium, facing the room full of Chicago's elite, people who had spent years dismissing me at my mother's parties. For those who don't follow business news, I began, Phoenix Global Holdings has spent the past 5 years acquiring and transforming underperforming traditional companies. Thompson Industries will be our largest acquisition to date, valued at approximately $3 billion. The room erupted in whispers. My mother had gone pale, probably calculating exactly how many times she'd told me to get a real job over the years. But your consulting business, Marcus found his voice. That tiny office downtown was a subsidiary of Phoenix Global, I explained. One of many. Though if you'd ever actually asked what I did instead of assuming, you might have noticed that my tiny office occupies the top 10 floors of Chicago's most prestigious building. My phone buzzed again. The press release was going live. Headlines would be hitting any second now. Right on cue, the guests' phones began chiming with notifications. Thompson Industries acquired in surprise takeover. Phoenix Global's mystery though revealed. Chicago's largest corporate acquisition of the decade. Lisa was frantically scrolling through her phone, her face growing paler by the second. Your net worth. The Forbes list. Oh my God. Yes, I nodded. That too. Amazing what one can accomplish while being dismissed as a failure, isn't it? The board members on screen were still watching, clearly enjoying the show. They'd all faced Marcus's arrogance over the years. His assumption that his position was untouchable, his dismissal of innovative ideas, his reliance on family connections rather than actual business acumen. As for the immediate changes, I continued, pulling up the restructuring plan on the screen, Thompson Industries will be undergoing a complete organizational transformation. All executive positions will be reviewed for effectiveness and necessity. Marcus's head snapped up. You can't fire me. I built this company. Actually, I corrected him, grandfather built this company. You inherited it and nearly ran it into the ground. Check the stock performance since you took over. My offer saved you from an inevitable collapse. The governor was nodding thoughtfully, probably recalculating his political allegiances. Several CEOs in the audience were already making their way toward me, business cards ready. My mother finally found her voice. Olivia, darling, she tried, her social survival instincts kicking in. Why didn't you tell us? All this time. All this time, I cut her off. You were too busy showing me to the service entrance to notice what I was building. Too occupied with Marcus's inherited success to see my earned achievements. The ballroom's atmosphere had transformed completely. Where moments ago I had been the embarrassing daughter relegated to the kitchen entrance, I was now the center of attention. The Save the Children banner seemed almost ironic backdrop to this shifting of family power. Ms. Walker, the governor called out, making his way to the stage. I believe we should discuss your vision for Chicago's business future. Perhaps over dinner next week. Of course, Governor, I smiled. My office will set it up. Though I hope you understand if I use the front door this time. A ripple of uncomfortable laughter moved through the crowd. My mother's face flushed red as several of her society friends shot her knowing looks. My phone buzzed again. A message from my executive team. Stock market reacting to announcement. Thompson Industries shares up 40% on acquisition news. Phoenix Global trending worldwide. Marcus was still staring at his own phone, watching his company's stock soar under my ownership. All those board meetings, he muttered. Those strategic investors you brought in. They were all working for you? With me, I corrected. Unlike you, I don't believe in ruling through fear and inherited authority. My team works with me because they believe in my vision. The screen behind me switched to live news coverage. CNBC was already running special segments on the acquisition, complete with graphics showing Phoenix Global's meteoric rise under my leadership. And now, I continued, addressing the room, I believe this was supposed to be a charity gala. Mother, I assume you're still accepting donations. My mother straightened in her chair, years of social training taking over. Yes, of course, dear. We're raising money for children's education initiatives. I know. I nodded to my assistant, who had materialized silently beside me. Transfer the funds. The donation total on the giant thermometer display by the stage suddenly jumped, adding several zeros. The room gasped collectively. $10 million, I announced. Plus a matching program for all donations made tonight. After all, education is crucial for success, even if it doesn't follow the traditional path some families expect. Lisa had begun crying quietly, probably realizing that her days of mocking my cheap clothes and small office were over. My brother sat in stunned silence, his announcement speech crumpled in his hands. Now, I turned to the board members still watching on screen. Shall we discuss Thompson Industries' future? I believe the service entrance would be perfect for the preliminary meetings. I'm quite familiar with it after all. A board member chuckled. Ms. Walker, I believe the main conference room would be more appropriate. Though I must say watching this evening's revelation has been quite enlightening. Indeed, I agreed. Sometimes the best view of success comes from unexpected places. Like back doors and kitchen corridors. My mother had finally managed to compose herself, her social survival instincts fully engaged. Darling, she tried again, you must understand we only wanted what was best for you. All those times we suggested different career paths. You mean all those times you told me I was embarrassing the family? I raised an eyebrow. When you insisted I use service entrances and sit by kitchen doors. When you dismissed my work as insignificant because it didn't fit your narrow definition of success. The room had grown uncomfortably quiet again. Several guests were edging toward the exits, likely to avoid witnessing more family drama. But that's all in the past, I continued smoothly. Tonight is about charity after all. Speaking of which, I turned to Marcus. Brother, I believe you'll find your new office on the 3rd floor. Human Resources will contact you about your revised position on Monday. Revised position? He choked out. Of course. We can't have nepotism in the new organization structure. You'll need to earn your place just like everyone else. My phone buzzed one final time, Car ready at main entrance. Asian markets opening in 30 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I addressed the room, thank you for witnessing this evening's unexpected merger announcement. Please continue supporting this worthy cause. My team will handle any press inquiries. As I stepped down from the podium, the crowd parted like the Red Sea. CEOs who had previously ignored me at these events were suddenly very eager to exchange business cards. Society women who had whispered about my unfortunate career choices were now gushing about my brilliant business acumen. Olivia, my mother caught my arm as I passed. Sunday dinner? We should talk about all this as a family. I gently removed her hand. I'm afraid I'll be in Tokyo on Sunday. Board meetings, you understand. Business success requires attention. Isn't that what you always taught me? But we're family, she insisted. Family. I smiled slightly. Family doesn't banish members to service entrances. Family doesn't measure worth by job titles or social status. Family supports each other's dreams, even when they don't match predetermined expectations. I reached the ballroom's main doors, the ones I'd been forbidden to use hours earlier. Turning back one last time, I surveyed the scene. My brother slumped in his chair, his wife dabbing at her mascara-stained cheeks, my mother standing lost in her designer gown, and the charity gala's guests pretending not to stare. Oh, and mother? I called out. Next time you host an event, do remember, success doesn't always wear a name tag or come through the front door. Sometimes it arrives through the service entrance, quietly building empires while others are busy maintaining appearances. The doors opened onto the hotel's grand lobby, where reporters had already gathered. Camera flashes erupted as I emerged, Chicago's newest revealed billionaire, the mystery CEO of Phoenix Global, the woman who had just orchestrated the city's largest corporate takeover. Ms. Walker, they called out. How does it feel to be Chicago's most powerful businesswoman? I paused, thinking of all the family dinners where I'd been told to dream smaller, all the parties where I'd been hidden away, all the success I'd built while they weren't watching. Power isn't about who enters through which door, I replied. It's about what you build while others are busy guarding the entrance. My car waited outside, at the main entrance this time. As I slid into the leather seats, I caught a glimpse of my family through the ballroom windows, still frozen in their moment of realization. They had made me use the service entrance at Mom's party. I had bought the entire building,